Good morning, good morning, good morning. And I see that several of you are already on. Guys, good morning. If you could hear me okay, just give me some hearts, some thumbs up, and tell me that you could hear me okay. Hi, Rashida. Hi, Rohit. Samar, good to see you. Good to see you guys. Good morning. Rashida says, good morning. Rahid, good morning. Have a nice day. Awesome. Guys, can you see me and hear me okay? Sean, it's great to see you. Hi, Matilda. Good morning from New Orleans. Beautiful wedding photo you have there, Matilda. Good to see you guys. Who else is on? Okay, so I see Emmett. Hi, Emmett. Good to see you. Who else? Okay, Timmy. Hi, Timmy. Good morning from India. Timmy, you're watching me from India? Holy cow. That's awesome. Good morning to you. And so, friends, thank you guys for joining me. If you guys could hear me okay, just let me know that you could hear me okay. Say something in the comments to let me know that you could hear me okay, and it's all good to go. Tiana, hi, Tiana. Guys, listen, this is going to be a different kind of broadcast. This is not just, yes, I'm going to be sharing some news with you, some super important news that you're all aware of, but I want this to be a space where we could actually communicate and talk to each other and just connect, because I think now is the time when you really need to feel connected and you need some comfort, you need some community. And so I cleared my schedule this morning just so that I can come before you guys live. Okay. Hi, Wally. Good to see you. Good morning, Christopher. Good to see you as well. Wow, guys, tell me where you're watching me from. I'd love to know that. Thank you, Om, for telling me that you could hear me loud and clear. Farouk, nice to see you. Golds, it's great to have you on. And I see some of my Smart Immigration Academy members. Hi to all of my Academy members. Thank you so much for joining. And I'm looking for clients as well. Shelly Ann, it's nice to see you. Thank you for letting me know that you could also hear me. Okay, Pamela, good to see you too. So, thank you for the hearts. Thank you for the likes. Friends, honestly, this time is so intense, right? I went to sleep like maybe close to 2 this morning because this whole thing was on my mind. And you know, I'm not in an immigration situation right now, but I think maybe almost all of you are. And so I cannot imagine how much stress and pressure and anxiety that you guys are feeling right now. It's just tremendous. And so I want you guys to understand that it's okay to feel the way that you're feeling, but I want you guys not to not to panic right now until we get the executive order. The executive order, from what I'm understanding, is going to be signed today. So we should have some details. And as soon as it's signed and I look at it and I understand some of it, I will definitely get back in front of you guys to let you know my thoughts on it. Paula, hey, Paula, it's good to see you. Paula is in the Philippines. Charla, hi, nice to have you on as well. And so, yeah, friends, we're going to go right into it. And I want you to put in the comment, how have you been feeling? What's going on with you since you heard the announcement last night? Saeed, thank you for watching from Bangladesh. And Yaya, nice to see you from New Jersey. Guys, what are you feeling? What's going on with you? How are you finding your peace these days as these intense news is just coming out, just popping up? Just let us know. Encourage each other in the comments. And if I see any encouraging comments, I'm going to pop it up here on the screen so that others can see it as well. Diane, thank you for watching from Trinidad. Nice to see you. And Om is in Sudan. Excellent. Okay, I don't see any New Yorkers here, although Charla is from New York. I want to see some of my New Yorkers in the house. Lizette, thanks for watching from Houston. So let's get into it, guys. Okay, so why are we on this morning? We're on this because of this, right? You all saw this tweet last night that President Trump put out there in the universe, right? And it just caused so much fear, so much confusion, and so much concern. And us immigration lawyers are also feeling a great deal of concern by this tweet because, it almost suggests to us that Trump is saying at this point, America is closed. America is closed. And so that's an awful thing, right, to think about, because we knew from day one that he came into office with a very aggressive immigration agenda, and he slowly, not slowly, it was actually very fast, very aggressive. It started with the travel ban, which is still in effect, and then it got more intense. He had started to attack asylum. He started to attack the family-based system with public charge. And now with the coronavirus, he has extended the reach. Okay, he has extended the reach to basically say what he said in this tweet, which is that he will temporarily suspend immigration into the United States. And so from reading this little tweet here, I don't want to blow it out of proportion, but from reading this tweet, it seems to suggest that the focus will be on those who are on the outside trying to come in. And so that's consular process. But we don't know yet how broad this is going to be, whether it's also going to touch those here inside America. We don't know to what extent is it going to touch maybe services that USCIS is doing, right, to process green card applications and other applications that it's processing. We don't know if it's going to touch those processes as well. We'll have to see. And also the other thing we don't know, friends, is we don't know how long this temporary suspension will last. So please do not panic quite yet until we get more information. But here's what the tweet says. In light of the attack from the invisible enemy, which he's referring to the coronavirus as the invisible enemy, as well as, and here's the true motivation, as well as the need to protect the jobs of our great American citizens, I will be signing an executive order to temporarily suspend immigration into the United States. And so this right here, to me, I come from a political background as well, public policy, government background. And so I see politics all over this, as I'm sure you do as well, because this is about jobs. In this, my understanding from this tweet is this is all about protecting jobs in America, and more of like a protectionist type of philosophy, protect American jobs. And so now we know that 20 million Americans are unemployed, and many of them file for unemployment benefits. And so the government is shifting its focus to reopening our country. And so I think the motivation behind this, friends, is that as the president is talking about reopening the U.S., they're now concerned that we don't want people from the outside of America to come in and take the limited jobs that we have, right? We want to put those 20 million Americans back to work first, and then we could let others come in. So this tweet signals to me that this is going to be focused primarily on consular processing, those who are trying to get an immigrant visa or any visa to come into the U.S. We'll know for sure once we see the executive order. So that's one thing, friends. And so with that being said, I think consular focus will definitely be the biggest part of this issue. Okay. Omar says that he's been trying to catch me live. I'm glad to know that you're finally with me. Oh, by the way, guys, you see my information right here, my number and website. You guys are always asking me how to reach me. So I put that in here so that you guys can reach me. Richard says that he's watching from. Richard says that he's watching from. Are you guys still hearing me? Am I still live? Am I still live? If I'm still live, give me some hearts and some likes. Let me know that I'm still live here. Am I still live, guys? Can you still see me? Am I still good? Okay, excellent. Okay, so Richard from Minnesota says that he came here from Africa in late February and apparently have to be here until the COVID plague subsides. Yes, there is really no travel even out of the US now, right? And so Richard, with you being here and with COVID, there's an opportunity certainly for you to file an extension so that you could extend your stay. Thank you guys for those hearts. I'm glad to know that you guys are still with me. And so, okay, so let's keep going. And so since the news last night, right? I mean, like every news outlet has broadcast this, right? Trump says he will suspend immigration over virus concerns. Trump says he will sign an executive order. I mean, everyone is basically covering this, right? Need to protect jobs. Wall Street Journal says Trump to temporarily halt immigration into the U.S. amid coronavirus crisis. But, you know, it's so funny, right, friends? It's funny when you think about the fact that he's, on the one hand, he's talking about the need to shut down immigration and we need to protect our jobs, blah, blah, blah. But yet he's, you know, so we're shutting down immigration because of the coronavirus, because things are so bad here with the coronavirus. And it is, especially here in New York, it really is a major, major problem. But then on the other hand, he's talking about reopening. So it just doesn't go together. And then the other point, friends, is the fact that immigration basically came to almost a standstill anyway, weeks ago under this pandemic. Many of you know that U.S. embassies around the world are not interviewing people these days, right? A lot of things regarding immigration really did come to a standstill, except here in the U.S., USCIS is still processing applications. The NVC is also still doing its work. So other things are moving. What is the true motivation here? And certainly, as I said before, I think the true motivation is political. So the next question really is does he have the authority? Does he have the authority to do this? What do you guys think? Does he have, Wally says he feels depressed. Wally, do not feel depressed. Do not feel depressed by this. But what do you guys think? Does he have the authority? Does he have the authority to do this? Because, you know, some experts are weighing in and they're saying, some are saying yes. And of course, others are saying no, he's overreaching. Tiana, thank you for joining from Brooklyn. What do you guys think? Does he have the authority to do this? Now, regarding his authority, the Washington Post actually had a more thoughtful article today about this issue, and I just want to mention a few things from this article. Well, first of all, it says that the executive order is expected to be drafted and signed as soon as today, Tuesday, and that senior staff members in the Trump administration said that it would suspend nearly all immigration under the rationale of preventing the spread of an infection by foreigners arriving from abroad. But a whole lot of foreigners had not been arriving from abroad, friends. They have not been arriving from abroad. Things have come to a standstill, really. So Rashida, I understand you. It feels terrible, but she's trusting in God. So, okay, let's take a look at what the hold on a second, guys. Okay, so that same Washington Post article also quotes some director at the Cato Institute in Washington, D.C., which is a think tank. And this guy at Cato says that he does believe Trump have the authority to do this based on Title 42 of the U.S. Code, which allows the president to stop or halt immigration for health reasons. And then also he also says there's precedent for Trump to do this, right? Because back in 2018, the U.S. Supreme Court upheld Trump's travel ban. So according to this article in the Washington Post, based on Cato Institute director, right, what his thoughts are, he said Trump has the authority to do this. And so it's going to be interesting to see how this actually really does play out as attorneys and organizations gear up to definitely try to get some sort of injunction or something. They're going to sue. Something is going to happen here to stop this, and we'll see whether whether the court sides with him. Friends, as you guys know, the Supreme Court leans towards Trump, right? Because he did fill quite a bit of the spots on the Supreme Court. So it's just the situation. It just looks a little grim, but we will not lose heart and we will not continue to give up. Let's just wait to see what the executive order says. So Marcina says, not good at all. Been married for almost 4 years. I just want to be with my husband. Now, a day before his interview, the embassy closed in Jamaica. Now I'm hearing this. Yeah, this is, it's awful, Marcina. I feel you. This is just, it's terrible. And so we're hoping that this will be very temporary. What else are you guys saying? Pamela said that when I heard the news last night, I became more anxious, but hoping there's some good coming out of this. I agree with you. Marcia says that she's stressed. This is frightening. Guys, try to relax, and let's wait to see how temporary this is. Is it going to be, if you think about this from a political standpoint, let's take off the fear here for a moment and think about this from a standpoint of politics, politically speaking. We are in a political season. We are 5 or 6 months from the election, right, in November, and the economy is in the hole. Things are bad in the economy. And if there's one thing you know about U.S. politics is that politics is all about jobs. And if there are no jobs in November, President Trump knows that he is in danger of losing his seat. And so that's, I think, is the major focus, the major motivation behind reopening. And now also to rally the base, his supporters who are anti-immigration people. He's also trying to get them back in the camp on his side, okay, to assure them that immigrants are not going to come here and take away their jobs. And so this is a political thing. So is the timetable, is it going to be a 90-day suspension, or is it going to be a little longer? We'll see, but I think this is really politically driven. So just keep that in mind. This is really all, in my view, all about politics. It's not about public health. Francisca says, may the peace of God continue to cover us in this trying moment. And I so agree with you. If anyone else agrees with Francisca, give her some hearts. I agree with you. I totally agree with you, Francisca. Okay, let's see. Let's go through this. Okay, so Barbara is saying that, she's asking a question. Is this going to affect family-based visas that simply need to be concluded with the interview? Yes, Barbara, from what I understand so far from the tweet, okay, so my answer may change after we see the executive order. So if the executive order halts or suspends immigration into the United States, that's going to impact everyone. Family-based visas, certainly, right? So let's wait and see what the executive order has to say. Okay, Chastity says, he said it's temporary. I believe he will lift it by November or December, right after the election, right? Because it's again, it's all about winning the election. Thank you for that. Omar says he's in Jamaica and he's grateful for the work that I'm doing. Thank you for that, Omar. Thank you for watching. And then Francisca gave us some more scriptures here to consider, that God has not given us a spirit of fear. I agree. And I'm going to say amen, amen, and amen. Okay. So friends, to basically summarize where we are, the executive order, from what we understand from the news outlets, is expected to be signed sometime today. We'll see if that happens. And if it does happen, I'm going to summarize it again for you. But it looks like the major focus here is on folks coming into the United States to stop the system temporarily. And so what does that mean for those who are on the outside, who are looking to get an employment-based visa to come into the U.S., right? We now know that because of the health crisis, we need a whole lot more nurses and healthcare professionals to come into the U.S. How is this going to impact those people, right? Tech jobs, right? Things that help to keep America running and going, agricultural jobs. So I don't know how happy employers are going to be with this kind of initiative to stop immigration, the flow of immigration. So that's something to be seen. Okay, so Cadian says, behind every dark cloud there is a silver lining. It's just crazy what is going on now, but we should pray, have faith in God. He's in control, and you're watching from New York. Thank you for that encouraging message, Katie. And I hope you guys are encouraged by her message. Sean says, hi, Sean, Academy member. Why is he doing this now? Borders are shut. Nobody is coming in and out. Exactly, Sean, because it's politically driven. We have been shut down for almost 3 to 4 weeks now. Right. Immigration is flowing into America is also stopped weeks ago, really. He has way too much power. This is insane. I agree with you. Hawa says, what if you have the visa abroad already, marriage visa? Hawa, the reality is this, okay? The reality is this, that it doesn't matter what you have right now, from what I can see, okay? Let me preface this by saying I have not seen the executive order yet, so it may say something differently. But from the tone of the tweet, I don't think he wants anybody to be coming in here anytime soon. At least not during the period that he is that the executive order will be in effect. So we'll see what that leads to. But Hawa, your question reminded me of something I did want to share with you guys. Normally when, as you guys know, when there's an executive order to ban the flow of people coming into America, there's usually some sort of waiver that's written into the executive order. Hawa, your question triggered this, so thank you so much for this. There's usually a waiver that's written into the executive order that will allow exceptions for some people to come in based on, whether it's a humanitarian issue or medical emergency, or the fact that they have a job lined up here in the U.S. or enrollment in school, and they've been traveling to and from America for business purposes and they need to continue to do so. Normally there is a waiver process that's written into it. It's a waiver is part of all of those travel bans that that's out there. And so I'm expecting to see a waiver provision written into this, but I don't know yet. We don't know for certain yet if that's going to be in there, but normally there is a waiver process that's written in there. And then Abdul says, what is the expected duration of this decision if it applies? I don't know. Abdul, I do not know the answer to that. And how long will it take until it's canceled? Again, we don't have the answer to that yet because the executive order is not out yet. So we'll get more information soon. Okay, so Fortune is saying that they're saying it will be for 120 days. Fortune, who is they? Go ahead and let me know who they is. Are you seeing this in some news outlets? And if so, share that here with the feed so that we could see your source. I was waiting for the actual executive order itself before I confirm anything live with you guys. Abdul, what about family reunification? Is the decision included? I would assume that it is. Okay, I would assume that it is. I'm not certain about that part yet. Okay, thank you guys for sharing it with other people. I see that you're adding other people to this, which is great. Thank you for sharing. Yeah, I forgot to say earlier, share this with your feed because people need a community to join and to talk about this in a place where you can get some information. Although the information that I'm sharing today is very limited because I have not seen the executive order yet, but please go ahead and share it with your feed. And if you have anything supportive that you'd like to share with the rest of the community today, post it and I will get it up on the screen here. Omar says, what if the American citizens don't want to work during this crisis? What's there to protect when they don't want to take the risk? That's a interesting point of view. That's an interesting point of view, Omar. Okay, so I see someone says that I can hear you, but I can't see you. Am I visible to everyone else? Am I still on and visible to everyone else? On my end, it's showing yes. Give me some thumbs up if I'm still visible to you. But it looks like one person is having problems because I'm visible to everyone else. Omina, great to see you. Thanks for watching. As usual, she says, yes, as usual from Atlanta. Thank you, Omina, for being part of this. I love the fact that I'm seeing some very, very familiar faces here. And you guys, we don't know, many of you, we don't know each other personally, but I feel like we do somehow. Okay, so Peculiar is asking the question, how does one file for asylum? I know that's not what you're here for. Yes. Well, yes, you're absolutely right. That's not what I'm going to be talking about today on this live today. If you want information about how to file for asylum, certainly just do a Google search. There's so many blogs, so many resources out there, so many resources free on the internet about how to file for asylum. So I would encourage you, Peculiar, to go and just do a little Google search. Just a little Google search. Thank you for letting me know that you could hear me. Thank you very much. And then Fortune is back here on the screen saying that he's on the campaign trail, folks. Yeah, this is political season, right? American citizens are being laid off. He's talking about work visas and green cards. Who's going to employ those citizens when who's going to employ those when citizens are being laid off? This is just another build the wall strategy for re-election. I give you a thumbs up for that one, Fortune. Absolutely. That's what you heard me say. Clara says that she's watching from Baltimore. Thanks for watching, Clara. My husband waiting on his interview date from Jamaica. And yeah, we know that the NVC, before this happened, before last night's tweet, we know that the NVC just had people in the queue, but the interview queue, so to speak, but the U.S. embassies have not been moving forward with scheduling interviews, Clara, as you know, because they're closed for in-person interviews due to the coronavirus. Okay, Matilda is asking a question. Do you think that this order will affect work permit applications for immigrants? So interesting that you would ask that great question, Matilda, because I have a video coming out. I think it might be coming out tomorrow about this issue, about what's happening with case processing times and work permit. And so if this executive order does not include green card process within the United States, then obviously you can still obviously continue to file your work permit applications. And something really cool and interesting is happening with work permit applications. That's a great thing that I'm sharing in a video that's coming out tomorrow. So watch that, because case processing times have actually really improved for those who are applying for a work permit renewal who had their biometrics record already on file. They're seeing some very fast turnaround times. So that's in a video that I'm going to have published tomorrow, I think, Wednesday or Thursday. It's already filmed. It's good to go. I have stuff ready for you guys. But this thing came out and I had to address it today. So thank you for that great question, Matilda. But we'll see if the executive order will address that. Guys, let's see. Who else is out there? Kip says that her husband is in Ghana. Yeah, and I have clients as well, and I believe some of my clients are on this broadcast watching right now. But late last night, I sent a message to all of my clients about this because I know that they are separated from their family. I have clients who have their relatives in Ghana as well, in Nigeria, in Jamaica, all over, in Philippines, all over the world. And I know that they are really heartbroken by this, but I encouraged them last night that they should not we will not give up. We will continue to fight. And as soon as I know more information, I will be sharing it with them. Regina, hi Regina, great to see you, Academy member. Regina says that they should do their part to handle this crisis adequately. Exactly, Regina. They should not rush to reopen, rush to do things prematurely, because New York, a lot of people are in hell in New York, in certain communities because of the coronavirus. So we should handle this they should handle it very carefully. David asked, does this go for those who are already in the United States? I don't have an answer to that yet, David. We have to wait for the executive order. We're not certain right now whether it applies to people inside America. One thing that we do know is that with regard to deportation proceedings, the government is obviously still trying to shuffle people through the system, particularly those who are detained. We know that those who are detained at immigration detention centers are still having their hearings. They're still moving things forward. The court has not shut down. But for those who are outside of court, who are not detained, those hearings the court is closed to non-detained cases until May 15th. The government let us know about that. I think it was last night I got the email, or this morning. So I need to post on that. But those inside the United States who are going through deportation proceedings, those processes are still moving forward because the agenda is to deport as many people as possible. Those who are here applying for adjustment of status, I don't know if this new executive order will apply to them yet. We'll know. Are you calling bluff? I don't, listen, I don't think so, but thank you for that great question. Okay, next. Who else wants to say something here? We've already talked about that. Yeah, Sean says he thinks they will try to stop him. It must be some kind of violation. Well, some experts, as I mentioned earlier, Sean thinks that he actually does have the power to do this. Okay. Awesome. So I'm going to jump off and I'm going to get back online and let you guys know what's in that executive order. I'm sure you're going to be following the news very closely today as well to see if you can get a hold of the executive order, if it does in fact come out today. And we're going to just take this thing, friends, one day at a time. The other thing, let's see. Yasir says, it does seem that a large part of the population of the U.S. are quite frankly thick as heads. Paul says he is going to reverse the plan with prayer. Paul is attacking this in prayer, and that's a good strategy. I agree with you. Freddie says that's subjective. I think, yeah, Freddie, some of what I'm saying today is subjective because guess what? This is my opinion. My opinion is that this is a politically motivated strategy. Okay. When we have facts, I will share the facts with you. What I'm sharing now is the only thing that I do know, which is that the immigration system was shocked last night by Trump's tweet. As usual, it's just a little tweet. We will have to read the details in the executive order. And once we get the details, I will share the facts with you. But for now, a lot of us on this broadcast are sharing our subjective opinions because this is the forum that I've created for us to do that because people really want to talk now and they want to share what's on their heart and on their mind. And what's on my mind is the fact that this is a politically driven decision. And that's what I'm sharing with everyone today until I get more facts from the executive order. Okay, so certainly it's extreme. I agree with you, Clara. It is definitely extreme. It is extreme. I want you guys to try to be at peace here. Thank you, Ahmed. Ahmed says, hi, everyone. Do not worry. We have hope as long as there are people like you, Attorney McBean. You defend the rights of non-immigrants against injustice and racism. Thank you so much, Ahmed. Ahmed is also an Academy member, and we're going to have a live session tonight with the Academy member, and Ahmed is going to be my guest on the live session tonight. So for friends, if you have not joined the Academy, you can go to McBeanu.mykajabi. I didn't put the link here to join our Academy, but we have really good sessions on live sessions on Tuesday nights. Okay. Kim asks, what about people with pending case that already did their interview? Kim, I'm not certain how that's going to be handled quite yet. Let's see how long this thing will last and how broad it extends to. Okay. And then, forgive me, for chopping up your name here, but Ola Diji says, what is the meaning of immigration executive order? Does this limit people coming into the country? That is such a great question. And so an executive order is a tool that the president has to put a policy in place using his executive or presidential powers to do so. He does not need the approval of Congress to do it, but if he does overreach his powers, that's when the Supreme Court can come in and check him. Now, the executive orders are typically in place temporarily during an administration. The next president can come in and get rid of that old executive order. So it's just a policy that is put in place by the president using his authority and powers to do it. And so the tweet that we got last night says that he wants to stop, and I'm going to just put it up here just so that I get the language right. The tweet says that I will be signing an executive order to temporarily suspend immigration into the U.S. So this suggests to me that the focus is going to be on people outside of America who are trying to come into the country. But we'll wait until we get the language to confirm that. So thank you for that great question. It's good to just break things down. So thank you guys. Kelly says, I'm trusting God will intervene. I appreciate that. Please do not be stressed. This person says that he's stressed and he was preparing to travel by this month. But as you can see, even with the coronavirus crisis, traveling is really not something that many people can do. Friends, I'm going to jump on, and I want to thank you guys for joining today's broadcast. I appreciate you. We took the time today. We were on for about almost 40 minutes just to come together and just connect, because that's what's important during a time like this, having the ability just to connect with each other and that's all that we sometimes need. We just need to reach out and say hi. Let's stay encouraged. Don't despair. Okay. Don't despair. Charlotte just came. It looks like Charlotte just came on, and she's asked, "So what's going on, Charlotte? Once this broadcast is over, you could watch it from the beginning to hear what we covered. But we were talking about the executive order that President Trump is expected to sign today. Charmaine says, "Good job. Thank you for that. I appreciate you. Thank you guys for the positive vibes. I so appreciate you, Kim. That's a lot of hearts. I love it. Thank you so much for that. Let's just try our best to stay encouraged, stay focused today, stay busy today, work on something productive, something that you love to do, think about good things today, and let's just wait for more news and information about this executive order, and let us stay encouraged and do not lose heart." And Rolf, no, I do not know when it will be released. The news articles are saying that it will be released today. So we are watching very, very closely. So stay encouraged, guys. Share this broadcast with other people because they also need comfort and they also need to have a place where they could communicate about immigration matters. So friends, thank you so very much for this time. Thank you for being with me. And I will catch you guys in the next broadcast. Thank you guys for watching, and have a peaceful rest of the day. And I may see you again later once we get the executive order out. So stay tuned. If I come back on live today, I will give you some notice about it so that you can prepare to join me live. Thank you guys. Like this, my page. Follow me on McBean Immigration TV on YouTube. Guys, subscribe and give my office a call if you need any immigration services during this time. But let's wait for this executive order to see how limited immigration will actually be going forward. Okay. So friends, thanks again for watching, and love you guys, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.